So most people probably wouldn't show you their messy pile of garbage, but buried deep in here is something that we need. And that is, back here is in fact a 1365. And this little feller I have had for, gee, I don't remember how many years I've had it. But we need to get this out, or at least get in here where we can work on it. And I will show you the reason why. Okay, so here is a 1365 engine that is running, supposedly. Right now it's probably running oil because it's sitting sideways, but anyway, we unloaded this last night, and I think that we are in good shape here. I really want to just go ahead and get this put on the tractor, and I know that I got other people's stuff I need to be working on too, but I don't want to just let this sit, because this has to get done, because, you know, otherwise this is going to go to waste too, and I don't want that. So I want to make sure we get this done, you know, where we have a chance to actually maybe use this tractor. So we're going to try to get the tractor excavated enough that we can slap this in and at least get it where it runs, and then, you know, the motor will stay good as long as we keep up on it and keep it running. Okay, so I got this tractor years ago, and I got it because actually the guy who had it, they had a WD Alice Chalmers, and he wanted it painted. And so I said, I will paint the tractor for you, and this is what I took as my payment. A 1365 that had issues. It was actually in pieces at a tractor repair shop, and that's where I picked it up from them, because it was sitting over there. It has suffered the catastrophic thrust bearing of death. And if you don't know what that is, on these Fiats, these later ones, they were actually really good little tractors. However, they had a fatal flaw that people sort of found out and didn't realize they were causing the problem. But they have a LUK clutch in them, which is nothing unusual. A lot of little utility tractors do, and that is like a two-stage clutch, basically, is what I'm saying. And on most tractors, no big deal. You step part way down on the clutch pedal, it stops your ground travel. You push all the way down, and it stops the power takeoff from spinning. And then, you know, that way you have somewhat of a live power takeoff. Well, Fiat, which is who built this little guy, decided they would take this a step further. And what they decided to do was they were going to give you a separate handle for your PTO clutch. So this lever disengages your clutch to your stage on the two-stage clutch that does your power takeoff. And then here you have a handle where you're supposed to be able to, you can shift it to, I can't even remember which way is what now, but one way is neutral, then you have 540, and then you can also switch it into ground drive mode, where the power takeoff runs different speeds based on, you know, there it is, yeah, based on how fast your transmission's moving, you know, how your ground speed. And their thinking was, what you would do, the power takeoff would always be in neutral, and then when you wanted to use it, you put your clutch on, shift it, and then start your power takeoff and go. When you're done, you flip it up, put it in neutral, put it back down, everything's good. Well, guys didn't do that. They put the clutch on, put it in 540, ran the power takeoff, and then when they were done, they just left it up. Well, this is a bad deal, because what was happening was while that was up, it's pushing on the stage of the clutch that does the disengaging of the power takeoff, And that constant pressure was just enough to shove everything forward, and it would eat out the thrust bearing in the engine, and eventually your crankshaft would get into the block and bad things would happen and you'd have a sad day. And that is supposedly what happened to this tractor. So it's been sitting here, and you know, I've intended to see if what I could find, and now that I found this other motor, I thought this is an excellent way to go. And you look at this and you think, what a piece of garbage, why would you save this? You're an idiot. Well, we know that I'm an idiot, and we know that's a piece of garbage, and we know that I save pieces of garbage. But this was sold new in our county. They had 2 of them, that, to our best recollection, that may be the only 2 Fiats that were sold in this county. 2 1365s, and I know where the mate to this one is. It's still on the original farm, and they actually ended up living really close together. They were just, you know, a few miles down the road from each other. So the 2 little tractors were, I guess, great little tractors. People remember them at the fair. I know my dad said he remembered them when they were at the fair, and the guy who owned it, you know, he said he remembered it. And what really got their attention, I guess, was that these tractors had a horn, and that was unusual. I mean, people had never seen a tractor with a horn before. So anyway, but just the fact that it was sold in our county, and you know, I want to try to save it. It is, like I said, it was a 1-owner tractor, and I don't even remember. I haven't even really looked over it that much. I probably did back when I got it, but it, like everything else I have, has become a flat surface that has accumulated stuff. I mean, here's a crate of Oliver parts that actually goes with this, but there's stuff in here from, you know, all the sizes of tractors. There's a front axle piece. There's some lights and stuff I've taken off. So we need to be able to get to it here, because we have to split it in order to do this. And of course I have a metal table right in front of it with stuff on it. I'm thinking about, it would make sense to maybe like clean out in front of here and move all that stuff, and then pull the tractor forward and then put the stuff behind it and put the tractor back in. And I don't know if that's how we want to do it. Probably would be the smartest thing. So we'll have to figure that out. Let's see if we can get to the other side of it. This thing had a loader on it, but I never got the loader. It was long gone by the time I came along. But I think the only thing I think that I am missing, because I have all the other pieces in another building out of the weather, I'm missing the cap on this filter, which is like your hydraulic filter. Here's your pump, and that's a bum deal. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I don't have it, and I don't know. I don't remember if it has something on it. The guy I got the motor from has one, so he said he could get me something. I'm hoping maybe I can just talk him out of the cap or whatever I need, the innards. So we'll have to figure that out. And then the only other thing is that injection line, I think, got bent on that good motor, so we may end up swapping injection lines. But otherwise, I think that I have everything I need to do this. So I was thinking a quick trip through my little warehouse here was in order to see where all my 1365 parts are, because it's been a fair number of years since I thought about this. There's all the sheet metal and what have you, dash, and I was thinking in a bucket, there's a set of fender tanks. I was thinking in a bucket I have all of the fine threaded bolts and things. I remember that guy handing me a bucket and saying, here's all the fine threaded bolts we took out while we took it apart. But I'm gonna have to do some digging and find out, because I don't remember. I think this is all 16 size transmission pieces, and I think that bucket is, I don't know what that bucket is. As you can see, I'm just super organized. This might actually be Fiat pieces here. I think it is. I think this is a pile of Fiat pieces because they look goofy. So probably that bucket, and it might be that bucket. But anyway, we know where the stuff is. We just have to find it as we need it. So, like I said, that's all the wiring and dash, muffler stuff, plus some other stuff off of things I've salvaged. So, anyway, we're at least in the right direction. Boy, it's real hard to get motivated to dig out stuff, isn't it? That is a lot of crap piled on here. But we're gonna have to get to it. All right, so I've got it pretty well excavated around it. That's good. And we got a 550 load of trash out there. So just need to keep cleaning and we should be able to get this going. I did find, which I forgot that I had in a box on here, some Oliver wrenches. So anyway, if you've never seen those, that's a couple of them. There's one, I don't know what that came off of, Famous, Ohio. So anyway, that's a neat find. I need to go put those away and hang them on the wall where they belong. Another thing that I forgot to mention, but I remember, is that down there is an auxiliary hydraulic pump. And it's got a couple hoses coming off of it, and that is how you would run external hydraulics, like for your loader, to run a separate valve. You get more capacity than what's on the tractor. So we're gonna have to get the block off plate and put that on once we get this going, so that we're not you know, just running a pump dry and whatnot. Everything else seems to, does it seem to move? Maybe not. I thought it did. Anyway, that'll be something for when we get farther. I do have to, I got to looking, and I don't know that I have the clutch that came out of this. I don't know what happened to it, but at any rate, I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy a new one. Clutch and pressure plate, put it in. The flywheel is in here. We'll need that because the new motor did not come with the flywheel. So we'll do that. These motors had a internal balancer thing in the oil pan, so that's where they did a lot of their balancing, more so than like in the flywheel or the front crank damper. So anyway, what I'm saying is we should be able to use that flywheel no problem. Okay, so we got this feller moved to the front so we can work on it, and it's loosely put together. They didn't bolt everything back on. So step A is, I got this loose. We need to pull this off so it stays with the front end. And then I think that I am going to go ahead and try to unbolt the radiator. I'd say that they took it off as one, but I foresee trouble if I do that. I would much rather, I think it's just 2 bolts. If it comes willingly, then I will just go ahead and take it off so that we know we don't end up injuring it. And then we can pull the front end off. I got it blocked up already. I decided just to use the tractor while I had it here. And we can just separate the old engine off, get our new engine moved into place. We need to search. The clutch is not in here, and I don't remember if I have it or not. So if not, that's no big deal. I'll order a new one, but I need to measure the flywheel that's on here to see what size it is, because there was some choices in pressure plates. So we'll get this split apart here and then go on our way, but we'll start with the radiator. where can we get you? Ooh, that's coming loose very much easy. I wonder if they had it off and then just bolted it back on when they took it bolted the tractor back together. That's what I'm saying. Because that seems awfully easy for what I expected. This is probably a good idea anyway, because sitting this long, probably a good idea to flush the radiator out. Yeah. I'm hoping that there's just two and there's not some goofy like third one way under there that's hard to get to or something. Haven't worked on too many of the old Italian tractors here, so don't know. Come on. Ooh, nice fine threaded bolt. Probably metric. I need to get my bucket for a seat again, because standing, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah. What do we got there? Come on, buddy boy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Will it separate? Feels like it. Oh yes. Yes! Oh, good. Huh. Where shall I put this that it will stay safe? Oh, this is not handy at all. All right, look at that nice factory green paint. Pretty snazzy. So now, I think there's just 4 bolts that's holding the whole front axle to the block. So we'll get those loose, and we can take this whole assembly away. However, I noticed that I still have cleaning to do, because I am a slob, and any flat surface accumulates things. Let's put this in here. That's a bucket of Oliver stuff. Pick up ball joints that I forgot I had. I'll put that somewhere. All right. Is this new? Wow. Look at that little thing. It was tested. That looks brand new. I didn't know I had that. I might need that. What else? Miscellaneous fuel line. Plastic bottle. Goodbye. Oh boy. Let's see. We don't know if these go with this, so we'll put them in our milk crate. Well, I think we're ready to strip some bolts out of here. Take the front axle off. No, that ain't gonna work. These are metric bolts, but I'm using Chinese American wrenches, so they all work together. Ooh, that is very much tight. Let's see here. That ain't gonna work. Let's see here. Oh, I got that one loose. I bet that this would work easier with a socket. Will I go get one? Probably not until I bust my face with a couple wrenches here. What am I using? 15/16? Let me go find something else. This won't work, but we'll try it anyway. I know that won't fit in there. Well, I've been wrong before. Okay. There's a short piece of cheater pipe. Will this be enough? Yeah, it will be. Let's do the most difficult one first. Oh, you guy, come on. There we go. Yeah. Oh, why are these so tight? They've been out 10 years ago. I can't believe. At least 10 years ago, because that's about how long I've owned it. Come on, you. Come on, you. Damn it. That's how I feel. What is the thing here? It's probably binding, but that's okay. I think my ratchet just quit ratcheting. No, I think it's just, this is an old Craftsman ratchet. And it's not fine tooth is what I'm saying. It's got lugs inside like on a Confederate battleship, I think, on a winch. Because it is just very difficult to ratchet. It's also possible that they put this, I don't think that there's any difference in them, but whatever bolts we take out, what I'm saying is they're probably not necessarily where they really belong because someone else has had this apart. So if there was some particular order, I'm not saying that they put it back together exactly the way it should be just because they were trying to put it together and roll it out of their way. So I don't know. We will find out as we go. I'm wondering when I should, probably now. My plan was to take out the bottom two and then take out the top two last after I put the tractor under it, but we'll see if that works out like I thought. It's kind of working out. Come on, you. Now I'm thinking just drive under it with the forks here and then take it loose and back away. So we're going to try that. I'll put the tractor in position. Didn't expect that. Okay, the battery died there, so I went ahead and got this rigged up so we can watch the stupidity. I'd say 1 or 2 pumps of this and something stupid's gonna happen. Do you think that the Chinese engine hoist is capable of holding this up? I doubt it. But it's on a dirt floor, so that's good. It's bound to be planted. Ooh, that ain't working very good at all, is it? Come on. Let loose. Fall to the ground. Because that's what we know is going to happen. Ooh, that is pretty heavy. Can we screw it up? Come on off of there, you back. Come on. I know if I go up there, it's going to come slamming to the ground. What could be holding this? There is nothing. Let's let it down and jerk it. And then we'll go back to working on the engine. Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. I don't think I missed any bolts, but I don't know. I know nothing about a Fiat, if we're going to be honest. Ooh. The ever so tiny 4-inch screwdriver. Will that dismount it? What could be the problem here? Too much load on one side than another? Let's see. That's not what we want. We want this part. Right? It's loose. Is our transmission fixing to hit the ground? Is that the problem? Safety! Walk under there. There we go. It should come loose. Huh. Now that's safe. Come off of there. There's no reason for you to still be attached. You made it. Ooh. That's a heavy fella. Not really. Alright. Let's see if we can throw it over, because that would be spectacular. That's what we're fixing to do. Now, will you hit the ground without still being hooked up? Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I wanted. For the first time ever. We can see, we got our flywheel. We got a critter town in here. So obviously, when we get this, we're going to put all new bearings in too. Here you can see the clutch. Well, I'm trying to show you the clutch, but there. Can you see that sleeve moving? That is for your PTO. And then this other one that I got my hand on, the small one, is your ground drive. So that's how they accomplished that, where you kind of had live PTO. So anyway, we need to, let's just stick our hand in, you know? Maybe there's a snake in there or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, mouse house. That looks like a burrow. Probably won't stick my hand in that one. Might wait a little bit. Bones. That's always good to find bones in there. Yeah. Whatever it was dragged a chicken in and ate it, apparently. Our thing here is that we needed to get this where we could measure what size pressure plate we need. And I gotta get a tape measure, which of course I don't have handy. And I'll probably get the other motor and bring it over here so that it is sitting, you know, inside here next to this, where we can work and compare, swap. I do want to tear this motor down and see how bad it is, you know, save all the good pieces, and then whatever, if it looks like the block is not savable at all ever, then it can live out in the junk pile outside. That's what I'm saying. But if it looks like it's a block that could be machined on a little bit or something, then we'll save it. We need to take the hydraulic pump off of this motor, and also we need to find like the power steering pump and all the little stuff that didn't come with the other one, which I think I know where it all is, but that's something we have to do, but at least it's out of the tractor. We can get the clutch ordered, and then once we get all that swapped, we'll be ready to start bolting her back together and go. Okay, I got bad news and badder news, and maybe a little bit of good news. So the bad news is, when I looked, I cannot find the pressure plate or clutch. So I obviously did not get any of that, which is not that big a deal because we can order new, but it would have been nice to just say, this is what I got, get me one like it. Badder news, while moving this over here, somehow I managed to break a chunk out of this front pulley. So that's dandy. The somewhat good news though, digging through the pile of stuff, I did indeed find the one that came off this tractor, the front pulley, so that's no big deal. I found the front pump for the steering, and I also got this, which I picked up at a salvage yard after I got the tractor, because I was walking along in the salvage yard and said, hey, that's the bracket that it takes for a Fiat. If you want to put Oliver weights on these tractors, you had to have this bracket. And just so happened there was a base weight with one of those on it, and I said, what do you got to have? It was cheap, so I bought it. So once we're all done with this project, we can put that on and take off that ridiculous loader fork thing. I think that everything else on this motor is right where it needs to be, and I don't think we need anything else out of the parts pile per se that I can think of. I see we got yeah, I got it. So power steering reservoir, I believe, is right here, and so we got that metal line to go up to it, and then a pressure line over to our cylinder. So we should be good to go. Now this is interesting. I'm pretty sure that my elbow off of this tractor has a block heater in it. So I'm gonna have to look up in the book and see what that's about, because if they have made it with or without, we're definitely gonna put the block heater in it, because we live in a climate where block heaters are a good thing. Alternator, I think mine looked like they swapped her out to a Delco. This one still says made in Italy. So, but otherwise, I think we should be good to go here. I never even, yeah, he had it running. He said just before he tore it down, maybe a month or two ago is when he parted this tractor out, and he had it running then. And I said, I want it. And then instead of shipping it, I said, sometime when you come down this way, you just bring it and I'll pay you to bring it. And that's what he did. And the other day, surprisingly, a pickup pulls in my driveway, because usually he comes in a semi, but in came a pickup, and this was in the back. So we should be good to go. We just need to swap our flywheel, like I said, from this one to that one. And I'm probably going to go ahead and get a rear main seal while we're at it. Look in the parts book to see what we got to have. We'll measure this to get our pressure plate deal ordered, and then we should be ready to start building back better, except I will actually do it. So we'll see how that pans out. All right, so some more parts pile digging. I got that piece, which goes in here. And then I also got the wiring and the dash pieces dug out, because we'll need those when we start to get it running. The whole thing had 5,206 hours on it. So I don't know how many hours my new motor's got on it, but the rest of the tractor, 5,206. It came from a dairy farm, so they were probably a hard 5,206. But nonetheless, I'm hoping that it lives again. I was missing that piece on this side, but I bought another set of both sides and then this plate from a salvage yard. So I've got this piece off of that. I just got to unbolt it, and then that's what holds your fuel tank in, see? So anyway, I think we're good on that deal. And I think we got enough stuff to make it go. I got somebody checking on, I know I'm missing this piece, the cover to the hydraulic filter. So he's going to check and see if he's got one. And then I'm sure we'll find some other little things along the way. But as far as I know, that's the big stuff at this point. I'm really going to have to dig to see if I can make sense of all this Italian wiring, because I don't know. They took a lot of stuff loose. So we'll have to sort that out. This piece, though, has the serial number tag on it. And a quick look at the old serial number makes it a 1973, I believe. So anyway, kind of right in the middle of the production of them. So before I call it quits for today, let's dig in this mouse house with a wrench, because I don't want to lose a finger. That is nasty. Ooh, look at their moldy nuts. It's pretty bad when your nuts get moldy. You need to keep using them. You can't just let them sit inside. That's when they do that. It's probably good for me to be breathing this dust off of this. Oh yeah. Yep, that's good stuff. Probably would be worth getting the old shop vac out. And maybe just give it a little suck job there. Yeah. I see that the wasps have kept up their end of the deal too, up in there. Everybody had to contribute, so. Oh well, we're good to go. A little cleaning and polishing and new bearings and lube here and there, and we should be in business. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.